Alright, I've just finished my first load with the jet wash and dry function. Taking out my clothes. They quite warm. They seem slightly damp, but I think that they might dry better as they cool down. They might get a bit drier. So just be aware of that if you want your clothes ready to wear right out of the dryer, they might not be. Inside the drum is looking pretty good. There's a little bit of lint around the edge and a tiny bit of water, but that would be to be expected, so just be aware that you'll need to keep that clean. The detergent tray is looking pretty good, and I'm going to be starting my next load, so I take this time to show some of the functions. So you set it to what you want, turn your dial, and as you do, I'm going to turn on and give you your settings. Now I think I'm going to try, let's see, I might try daily, or I'm going to try the super rapid just to see how that goes. You can see that would be a set of 30 degrees at 800, or if I were to try the daily, which is a more general, would that be 30 degrees at 1200. So a higher speed and a bit more time. Just to go over some of the other settings here, you have like your cotton, your whites and jeans, which is higher temperature, longer. Now if you wanted to change some of these, like if I want to change the temperature, I can do so by pushing the button. It should let me go down further. As you can see, it is a bit, sometimes the buttons seem a bit fiddly. I think I haven't quite figured out the spot. Sometimes they're very, very responsive. Let me see, I could change a lot of these settings, so if I wanted a slower speed, I can. Again, this would be just cold water, but you can see it changes the time. And you don't have to really push the buttons much, you just have to touch them, but I'm still trying to figure out the spot. So you've got a nice range to set up the dryer for covered, hanger, iron, so it gives you a bit more time. It also shows you the maximum load you can have. And just to show you how that works real quick, that should change my load. If I'm loading clothes up, and I'm just going to randomly put clothes in, at this point not separate it because I just want to show you. So right now it's a 6 kilogram maximum because I've got it set to use the drying function. And I'm just going to toss a bunch of clothes in. You can see I'm just filling it up right now to give it a to try to get it over the weight limit to show you what happens. You can see right there, there's a line. It's kind of showing me that I'm getting very full. And I'm not going to be able to fit much more in here, or it's going to tell me. So I'm pretty much full right now. I have 3 out of 3. But I'm going to keep going to show you what happens if you put too much in. Which is actually quite difficult because I'm pretty much completely full now. So if I kept putting weight in, that will happen. So I'm actually pushing on it to activate the sensor, that it will show you that you've gone over the maximum. And it's going to stay like that until you take out some clothes and get it below the limit. And if you were to try to start it up, it's going to mark, it's going to keep beeping at you that you have it too heavy. And you can see actually that for 6 kilograms, I've got it pretty much jam-packed full. So I've got it really fuller than I would have it, and it's still saying that it's all right, or just over. Now if I close the door, again, I'm not going to actually do this setting, then it's not saying there's a problem. So I'd be able to just put in my detergent in the tray and press start, but I'm not going to do that because I want to separate out my clothes first. So you can see it is actually quite intuitive. It gives a lot of options, and it does all that it can to make sure that you are using the machine the most efficiently and that you're not going to damage the machine or your clothing. So again, I've been very impressed with it. Just be aware that you might have to just hang your clothes a little bit after drying it, just to ensure that they are fully dry. But it is a really nice machine, and I would highly recommend it to anyone looking for something new.